In this video, we will learn about point of sale for restaurant purposes. We will look at how to configure our products, how to configure our point of sale. Then we will learn how to draw our floor plans, and last, how to manage our orders. Let's take a quick look at how to configure our products. Configuring products for point of sale restaurant is actually just in the same way as point of sale retail. In the form view of one of our products, for example antipasti, let's look at the main settings. What is important is to mention the price. In the sales tab, make sure you make it available for the point of sale. Also, make sure you select a point of sale category. Selecting the right category will help you faster look for the product and select it on your point of sale front end. These are the most important features that you need to configure on your product. Now let's continue with the configuration of our point of sale. In your configuration settings, make sure you make it available for restaurants. Also, activate allow cashier to reprint receipts. And if it's the case for your restaurant, also activate allow clients to pay with their credit cards. Let's now look at a point of sale. As you can see, we already have one. And if you are working on different floors, please consider creating different point of sales. This will allow you to take orders per floor. For our example, we have created a point of sale for our first floor. In the available payment methods, make sure you create the payment methods that you want the client to pay with. In the features section, enable invoicing so that you can create an invoice if a client requires it. You also have the possibility to have large scroll bars to help you work better on a touchscreen. You have the option to activate automatic receipts. According to your preference, you can also skip the receipt screen. Also, for our example, we will select to include the tax in the price of the products. Most importantly, on the bottom, you see that a new section has been created, bar and restaurant. A very useful feature is the bill splitting, which you can activate or not according to your preference. Also, you have the option to allow bill printing. This is very useful as in the case of restaurants, the customer will receive the bill before paying it. You can activate the option to allow notes on orders. With this, your staff can add special remarks according to a client's request, like for example to exclude an ingredient, allergies, and so on. Also, here is where you can add your floors in case your restaurant has this. Another very important item here is the order printing. Here's where you can set up the printers that will print the orders that your staff will take at the table. This is very useful if you have a different printer for the bar, for the restaurant, or other departments. In our case, we have only set up one printer. Along with the printer, we have set up the products that we want to be printed with the help of this printer. So if you set up a printer for the kitchen, then you will set up also the products that are printed only for the kitchen. Our third item is how to draw a floor plan. In configuration, floor plans, click create and you can create as many floors as you need to. Make sure you allocate the right point of sale that will manage that floor. The respective point of sale will have the planned floor that you have created. The easiest way to configure our floor plan is from our front end. From your dashboard, open your point of sale. You can see here we have already created 2 floors with their respective tables. Let's see how easy it is to edit our floor plan. For our example, we will select first floor. On your right upper side, there is a small edit button. As soon as you click on it, you will be given a few editing options. This will allow you to play with the table format, colors, number of people. By clicking on one table, you can just drag and drop it to the location you want to. You can change the table shape by clicking on the desired shape. In our case, you can make it round or squared. Along with the shape, you can also change the color. Of course, you can select your own name. For our example, we will put first floor table number 5. What's also important when you manage your tables is to put the number of people that can be seated. For example, you can see we have created 4 tables. Each of these tables can sit 4 people at a time. In the middle, we have created a bigger table that can sit 8 people. Let's add another table. You can play with the shape of it. Let's make it oval. Make sure you add the number of people that can be seated at this particular table. And we will also make it yellow. We'll name it first floor table 6. When you're done, re-click the edit button. Our final item is about managing orders. In your front end, you start by selecting your floor and then table. When clicking on the table, you can immediately see for which table you are taking the order. We are now ready to select the products that we want to choose for our order. You can also specify how many guests you have at that table. For our current example, we have 8 guests. For this order, we will order first drinks. Next, we can continue with starters. To finish, we can order the main dishes. Once the order is placed, we can now validate it. By clicking on the button Order, these items will be requested for the specific department. In our case, we have only linked one printer. Back on our floor plan, we can now see that this table has now been occupied. The color is now set to gray. Along with the color change, we can see that one order has been placed on this table. Let's make another order on a different table. After you select the table, you can go and choose the items. For this example, we have 2 persons. They each order drinks. On the same order, we go and choose some dishes. Of course, in order to send the order, we have to click on the button Order. On the floor plan, we can now see that this table is half occupied. Going back to our first order, let's assume that our clients have finished their meal and they're asking for the bill. So before you can validate the payment, you can print the bill and take it to the table. When the clients are ready to pay, you can click Payment. And you can proceed with validating the payment, choosing the payment method, input the money, and validate. As soon as the payment is validated, you can now print the receipt. Back on our floor plan, we can now see that the table is available again. A quick indicator is the change of color. It's now set back to yellow. Let's now do the same for the second order we have had. You click on the table and you can see what has been ordered. Click on Payment and proceed with the payment from the client. For our next order, we will look how we can split the bill. We have 3 couples coming to our restaurant sitting at the same table. We will start our order with a few drinks and a starter. We also have the possibility to send the order in advance for the items that we have already ordered. While the table of 3 couples is thinking what to order for their main dish, we can actually move on and take the orders from other tables. From our floor plan, we can choose another table and take their order. For example, this table has only 1 person. We will take their order for drinks and some food. Assuming the big table that we have for 3 couples have made up their mind for their main dishes, we can now return and take their order again. We simply add the main course they want to choose and they are immediately added on their order. Let's now see what happens when we try to split the bill. For our example, let's split it in 3. Click on the button Split. By clicking on the button Split, you can now select the items that you want to pay for first. Simply select the item that you want to pay for first and validate the payment. We will proceed and do the same for the second couple. We select the products we want to pay and then go validate the payment. For the last couple, they can just pay the rest of the bill. Click validate and now we are done with this order. Let's take a look at another situation. We have one person who is sitting at this table. He makes his order for drinks and for food. But he decides he wants to change tables. How can we do that in our point of sale? We simply click on his table and his order is now open. As you can see, there's a button called transfer. Click on the button transfer. By clicking on the button transfer, you are now redirected to your floor plan. Now you can choose another table. On his bill, now you can see that he has another table name. To close your point of sale, just click close on the upper right side of your point of sale. In your back end, you have access to your point of sale. To close, click close. To finalize, click validate and post entries. With this item, we close our lesson about point of sale restaurant. Thank you for watching.